This is my pork keboobs with sticky beef and ginger rice and flatbreads. Look at that. What more could you ask for? I am going to be making something with my Chinese mix and my pork today. So I'm going to be using it to make a kind of kebab type thing. Anyway, let's see how it goes. So first of all, I need some flour, which I forgot to get out of my cupboard. I'm going to be making some flatbreads to go with my kebooby things. You've seen this I don't know how many times, so apologies in advance, but it's a staple in this household when we're doing these sort of things. First of all, we've got some self-raising flour from our Jaunt to Aldi. And I'm going to put about 250 grams of flour, give or take, into my, when I get there, bear with, can't talk and do. Come on. So 250 grams of flour into my bowl, along with a pinch of salt from your store cupboard, and roughly an equal quantity of yogurt. This is Aldi's, show you, Aldi's yogurt. I'll put slightly less in because it is a warm day today and it has been okay. So we'll see. We'll put about 200 grams in and see where we're at. Sometimes you need more and sometimes you need less, depending on the flour and where you live in the world. That's 206. I'm going to mix it together with a fork. Just slowly, just to get it going. And then I'll get my hands in there because everything in cooking is tactile, is it not? I think last time I was doing this, I made pork risotto with the end of my butternut squash that I had, but I'll be showing you something else with my butternut squash later. But if you want that recipe, I'll link it below for you. I'll be using the beef mince in another recipe. Looks okay to me, so I'll pop my fork down and we're going to get our hands in. And yes, you'll get messy, so watch what you're doing. Right, so you can see now it is starting to come together quite nicely. So just keep working it. And if it starts to feel too tacky, add a bit more flour. If it starts to feel too dry, add a bit more yogurt. This is not really written in stone, this recipe. It's just how it goes. And this recipe should make about 8 flatbreads. And if you're my family, you count 2 each. It's not 3 for one and 1 for another and all the rest of it. No, it's 2 each. Okay, once you've done it, set it to a side. We're going to be doing our meatballs. So to make my kebooby type things, you'll see what they are in a minute. What I've got in my bowl is the 500 grams of pork meat that we bought, half a bunch of coriander, 1 small onion, one small onion, finely chopped. And I'm going to pop in there as well, but the Chinese style seasoning mix. Now it says in here that it contains sage, dry glucose syrup, salt, which is what I'm after, colouring, paprika, dried tomato, yeast, ginger. So I'm going to pop all that in, along with a bit of garlic powder that I've got. So pop that in, just all the packet, because that's my seasoning for my keboob. And from my store cupboard, I'm going to use some garlic granules, because everything's better with a bit of garlic, about half a teaspoon there going in. And I've got some gloves on to bring all that together. A lot of people put into these sort of things egg. You don't need to bind it. It will bind on its own. Just keep working it. So a good way of helping it to bind. You can feel when it does it because it's not as wet and it just feels nicer, so don't be scared of it. If you think it is a bit too wet because you've had it in your freezer or something, you could add about about a tablespoon maybe of oats. Use your oats up. So there we go, that's our mixture done. And what I'm going to do is divide it up down the middle, and then make some meatballs out of it. If your meatballs feel like they're not getting together, just squeeze them down and then push them together. And I'm going to make, on this occasion, little sort of sausage shapes out of them, hence the word kebooby thing. There you go. So that's taken me roughly 5 minutes to shape those into meatballs. So my flatbread mixture has been sitting for about a half an hour. I'm going to now cut it up and roll it out. And don't forget, this is homemade, so it's not going to be even. If you want to go to the extremes of measuring it out, feel free. Now, this is a messy job, guys. I will not deny it. You will get flour everywhere, but it's worth it. So pop your pan on a high heat. Now, leave it. We need it to get hot, really hot. So don't touch it, okay? It will take a minute or two. Now I can hear my pan is getting warm. So I'm going to pop in my first flatbread and I'll show you what it looks like. And then while that's cooking, continue with the rest. Here they are. Great, eh? And I'm going to pop into my pan now. It's the same pan, my kebooby things, my Chinese style keboobies. So I'm going to pop them in, no fat required. This is a non-stick pan. And I'm just going to pop them around the pan for now. I want to get a bit of charring on them. While that's doing that, what I'm going to do is set off my rice. And I'm going to put a cup of rice into my pan. So there's my cup of rice. It's going into a pan along with one of my beef stock cubes. Generally, I would put in here at least half a teaspoon to a teaspoon of ginger to make it beef and ginger rice. But I haven't got any that I can find. So I'm going to use some ginger that I have in my freezer and just grate about a thumb piece of ginger into here. You need quite a bit to give it some flavour. Okay, give it a bang. If you have got fresh ginger in your freezer, I'm not saying you have, but use ground ginger. That is perfectly fine. And to that, we're going to add 2 cups of hot water. No, 3 cups of hot water, sorry. There you go. And we're going to bring that to the boil and cook that. I'm going to turn these around, so gently does it. Smells lovely, I've got to say. There we go. Sorted. So now I'm going to just add some vegetables to my hot mixture. And I've got here some carrot, a couple of onions and a pepper. Just so it fills up a bit. Try to get it through the hole. Why not? Let's do it this way on because it's not usually that way. This is just to balance out our meal. We need a bit of vegetables in our meals, don't we? If you don't want vegetables in, then leave them out. So what I'm going to do, which is untraditional, but it will help this, is add some water to the pan. Just a little bit to help it along. And then give it a stir, because they will be sticking. There we go, that's better. So we're going to have Chinese style vegetables and kofta type items in there. Look at that. Doesn't that look good? It means as well you don't have to use soy sauce or anything, but if you wish to, you can do. But there's plenty going on in there So we're going to let that cook. Pop a lid on and let it steam for a bit. It's on a low heat now, so we're going to let it do its thing until the rice is ready. This is my pork kaboobs with sticky beef and ginger rice and flatbreads. Look at that. What more could you ask for? Let's have a taste. Great. Lovely. And I know the ginger rice is because I've tasted it. Lovely. Enjoy.